What's up guys, how's it going? It's Tuesday and you know what that means, it's Sportingly Social, alright? And of course you can tell by the show and the theme of the music that I've chosen that it is of course football related, because United are back in the Champions League and we have plenty to talk about with a lot of Red Devils later today on the show. But first let's tell you what's on the show. On the show today, it is Manchester United, of course, who've entered the Champions League. We're going to be talking about them in detail. And, of course, the other teams, the winners and losers of the Premier League. And, of course, who got relegated and who stays up. Not before we get chatted with, of course, the Red Devils supporters. And to talk all things United and a quirky little quiz too. Before I end the show and explaining a very important cricket tournament along the way. Right, so first up, it's been a marvellous Premier League season in terms of last night. That's United finishing third. But apart from that, Liverpool winning it is never marvellous from United's perspective. But let's not try to be biased right now while doing my Premier League ratings. Liverpool, of course, winning the Premier League for the first time, winning the league for the first time in 30 years. They've been absolutely brilliant. They could have overtaken City in that 100-point barrier. Was it to be not such a good invincible season as well? But if you'd given any Liverpool fan the Premier League title before the league started, they would have bit it off your hand. Well done, Liverpool. Manchester City finishing second. Maybe they have other ambitions this year, who knows, of the Champions League, so they won't be complaining too much. Maybe they'll push forward in the league much more as well next season. But Manchester United finishing third. Now, not many people gave them third or fourth, let alone fifth as well, with Ole coming in, but he's got them into the Champions League alright. Brilliant season from my perspective, which we'll get on with the guests in due course. Chelsea, of course, entering the top four as well. As touched upon it earlier, Frank Lampard has been absolutely brilliant considering the transfer ban that has been imposed on Chelsea and the fact that they haven't really had the best players. They've got their academy graduates in. What a wonderful spell of football Chelsea have been playing. Defensively, not so much, but attacking-wise, they have the great signings as well to come in as well. Leicester fifth, Europa for the first time with them, so it'll be interesting to see how they will of course go about next season. But if you gave them Europe this year when the league started, they would have absolutely taken that. Spurs, after a roller coaster of the season, Mauricio Pochettino being sacked, Jose Mourinho coming in, getting the job done. He's done brilliantly to get them back into Europe, even though they finished as European finalists in the Champions League last year. Wolves 7th, which is really interesting because I thought Wolves could really push on to 5th or 6th. Wasn't to be. Maybe the last couple of games let them down. Arsenal, again, big season for them, but you got to really hold it to Arteta, because what he's done with this side is galvanise the troops, because Arsenal could have been really way off, 12th to 13th maybe, and they've had 3 managers this season, so not the best season if you're a Ghana fan, but nevertheless, lots of things to look forward to, considering the fact that they're playing the FA Cup final as well next week. Moving on to 9 and 10 then, Sheffield United have been absolutely brilliant, a breath of fresh air in the Premier League. Chris Wilder and what he's done with his giving resources to get them 9th. That's absolutely brilliant for the Blades. Burnley, likewise, Sean Dyche, you never expect less from him. A top 10 finish for him this time around. Southampton 11th. Now Southampton, of course, Ralph Hasenhüttl, after he suffered that 9-0 defeat to Leicester, everyone was writing them off, but then they bounced back, and how? Pretty impressive for them. Ancelotti's Everton in 12th, of course, lots to look forward to them next season. Something that Everton fans would say that they'd like to forget about the season as soon as possible. Steve Bruce's Newcastle in 13th. That is very, very interesting, because Newcastle fans will be happy with the progress that they've got their side into. At least I believe that they've got themselves into good shape going forward next season with the transfer market round. Crystal Palace, well, that's a club I'd really think who's perhaps lucky enough to stay in the Premier League, considering the lockdown form post the restart was absolutely horrendous, so they're lucky to be alive. Brighton 15th, they got a couple of decent results, but Graham Potter knows absolutely well that he needs a lot of work to do pre-season going ahead to next season. West Ham, well, 16th, David Moyes will be a relieved man, because that win against Chelsea, that away win against Norwich, that away point against Manchester United, all those are vital results, because West Ham could have been going down in the Championship. Hammer fans are thankful of David Moyes, and who knows, maybe it's a brighter season for them ahead. Quickly, 17, 18, 19, 20 then. 17, of course, Aston Villa to stay in the Premier League. I love them as a club. They have a lot of history as well, so it'll be good to see them in the thick of things next year. See the 3 relegation spots, Bournemouth, Watford and Norwich. They've played well, but it just wasn't to be. But I'm more excited about the promoted sides, at least the 2 of them, which is Leeds and West Brom. Right, so those were my Premier League ratings of the season. And of course, now it's time to delve into the team I love. And what better way to do it by getting some guests to chat all things United. And let's take a look on who's on the bench today. I'm going to just record the best bits, so it's fine. We'll start with Quaj. How do you assess the season? How relieved are you after last night? Because there was a game where you got your cojones in your mouth, I'm presuming.
Yeah, it felt like trying to win the Premier League, except, of course, we haven't been doing that for so long, but still, just the fact that we had a final day that was that stressful, I realized that I haven't felt that in a few years, right? It was amazing. 3 ways, Leicester and Chelsea, both just top clubs this season. I think if you had I think United fans are generally hard on themselves, hard on our team, just because of the success we felt in the past.
Yeah.
And now that third just seemed, I don't know. It didn't seem like we deserved it at times. It seemed like Ole's first year where he started off amazingly well, and at the end of the season, we had I think 8 to 10 game losing streak.
Yeah.
So, it's not a consistent performance in my book, but just the way we finished the second half of the season, the way that team came together.
Yeah.
Man, every single player in that team was helped out to get us to third.
Considering, we've reached the 2 semi-finals as well, and we have the Europa to play for, even though it's kind of just a trophy sort of thing right now. Are you happy as a United fan? Because when we met each other in March, we were looking down and we were looking away and thinking, hoping that this would just end as soon as possible, right?
Yeah, I think Quaj kind of put it best. I think we haven't felt this way in a while.
Yeah.
I think the second half of the season brought out a passion in us that's been missing as fans for many years.
Yeah.
So I think that it just felt really good to kind of, be behind the team this much, watch every game, kind of going in feeling we might actually win. I think that's been missing since 2012, where we kind of confidently, walk in a game feeling like we are actually the better team. And yeah, I think given that we were, 15 or 16 points behind Leicester around New Year's, finishing third is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
But then there's always your reality check when you look at the table. The fact that we were closer to Bournemouth than Liverpool kind of puts in perspective how far
off. 33 points? Yeah.
I think it's 33 or 34 points, something like that. I think it puts in perspective how far off the pace we are.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think, again, the biggest change for me, I think, is just that for the first time in 6 years, we were playing exciting football.
Yeah.
We were not only counterattacking, we were actually trying to force the game on our opposing teams. And to me, I think it just felt like we're going in the right direction. I think if the season started in Jan, we'd be a lot closer to Pool and City than,
We won the league if it started in Jan.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I
agree. Fair enough. So,
Naka, let me ask you this. The fact that I touched upon that we haven't seen football like this since Fergie days, and the fact that some games, post-lockdown at least, the game against Brighton, for example, that counter-attacking goal, or just the other game against Bournemouth as well, where we just hammered them 5-2. These games are showing us that we have another gear in our drive, and not just the counter-attack, sit deep, and then hit the opposition in the break, right?
I think the 2 major influences that changed the course of the season. One, of course, was Bruno Fernandes signing in January or December.
Yeah.
That just brought a complete new life to the team. We suddenly saw Matic playing well. We suddenly saw Wan-Bissaka, Brandon Williams, Luke Shaw running down the flanks. There was a lot more energy and just the creativity that Fernandes brought to the team. People would just pass to him and hope that he did something with it.
Yeah.
The second thing was Rashford coming back from injury. I think playing on the left flank, he made a huge difference. And the third was the coming of age of Mason Greenwood on the right side, and Martial playing centre forward. And I think those 4 have scored every single goal except one, which was scored by Pogba. I think that in itself was something spectacular. And as a big fantasy Premier League player, I just put Rashford, Fernandes, and Martial, and I would just captain one of them for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And that really worked for me. So it's been great, and I think Bruno Fernandes the number one reason for United's resurgence over the last 4-5 months.
And to Naku's point, just want to add, we've done all of this with our best and most consistent player suddenly becoming the biggest butterfingers on earth.
Yeah, that's true.
He's been the biggest liability in the whole Premier League, I think. Other than maybe David Luiz, who actually put in a couple of good performances towards the end of the season. He was legit, even yesterday, a liability. Yeah. And I think doing that with a goalkeeper who the whole team has no confidence in is like a testament to just the attacking power.
No, the fan base doesn't have confidence in him.
Oh yeah, agreed.
He has confidence in him.
Yeah, I mean that's funny because he drops the easiest catch and then pulls off a world class save. 10 minutes later. Even during yesterday's game, I think it was Iheanacho or somebody deflected shot. Which was an easy catch, and he got lucky that I think Vardy was offside or Vardy was just short of getting the ball. After he dropped an easy catch. It's just, I don't know, I'm not confident with De Gea in goal anymore.
No, I completely agree with you, and only time will tell if Dean Henderson's popping in next year or the year after that. If you had to pick 3 players to get rid of the club right away, like dead weight almost, who would you choose?
Jesse Lingard, Andres Pereira, and who's the third one? I think Matic has come back. I would say probably Fosu Mensah.
So in terms of the most underrated player this season for United, according to you?
Say McTominay, because he carried us during that spell where we were absolute crap.
Yeah.
Right? He was running show. He didn't seem like he cared if the rest of the team wasn't there. He just chased the ball. He'd recover it for us. I think his stats 4 games in a row, he had 5+ recoveries, 3+ interceptions. It's a player like that.
He scored against Arsenal as well, I think.
Yeah. How many goals? And I think just 1 or 2, right? But still, that's.
Yeah, I mean he's a holding midfielder, so you don't.
Yeah.
Okay, I ask you this: most overrated player that we have right now in our squad. I mean, there are tons of names which come to mind, but.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna leave De Gea out of this because we know he's been absolute crap. I think Maguire comes to mind. I think the fact that he's played every minute is great the entire season. He's done his job as captain. So he doesn't seem like a very commanding figure on the field, or even post-match he seems not to have too much energy. But I don't know. I think he was decent for the first part of the season, but he was the only one, again, other than De Gea, who seemed to have gone backwards after lockdown. He is the slowest player in the whole Premier League, I think. Right now, which is a bit scary given, I mean, there are lots of conversations about him being the worst $80 million signing ever, £80 million signing ever, and all of that. I don't know if, we go there, but I think if there's one person he's been given a lot of credit for holding things together, but I just think post-lockdown, every time someone ran at him, we were like, this isn't happening.
Well, he's got that. He makes sure that the team is always there. I'm sure he's a great leader on the pitch, and he's a big reason for the consistency. But I don't know if he's going to keep this up for 3 seasons, let alone this 18 games, right? We're looking at the post-lockdown games. Amazing. Can you do that for 36 games plus 2 other competitions? I don't know. Maguire's been given captain status, then you have to be, he has to be in the conversation for the most overrated player.
No, I think that was fine. I was actually going to make a completely different point, which might be a bit controversial, but I think people have been hating on Pogba a bit too much the last few games.
Okay.
I think we've put him in not his favored position. I honestly think that he's been holding his position well. You can tell he's not defensively minded. He kind of switches off every now and then.
What is his best
Some
position?
of his tackles are... Sorry?
What is his best position? In the fact that we played this formation 4-2-3-1 for the last 8 games, do you think he fits in that double pivot role the best?
I would have him further up the field playing with Bruno. I think him and Bruno have something great together, and it works beautifully with the pace, because I think we'd all agree some of the passes he's pulled off in every game are passes that only he can pull off. I think if he had better finishers, maybe more seasoned finishers, if he had a Ruud van Nistelrooy, all of them would have been goals.
Yeah.
But I think that if we have someone who's a bit quicker and, a slightly better sort of CDM in place of Matic, who's done a stellar job other than the last few games, I think it would give Pogba the confidence to just be a little bit more expressive. I think he's been in a sort of in-between position, which is why people haven't been too happy with him. And I think also he's made a fair few explosive runs, and I think some of the the younger people haven't managed to find that quick ball to him when he kind of darts into the box.
Agreed.
So I just think he's been given a little bit more shit than he deserves, and I think ever since Bruno's come in, I think Pogba's done a really, really good job, and I think the both of them, if we keep them together, are going to be the makings of something pretty special for the next couple of seasons.
Okay, let's move on to the quiz, and this is the fun part, and Aya has been dreading it, I can already tell. But and we'll start with who wants to go first? Actually, anyone being generous?
I'll go first. Finish it off.
Okay, cool. So your first question: name any 3 instances where one of the defenders of United have scored this season.
Harry Maguire scored 1.
Yeah.
Lindelof has scored 1.
Yeah. Can you
and
be
I think
specific?
No. And I think Van Bissaka scored 1.
Go through the names and they scored a goal.
Van Bissaka scored 1.
Did he score 1?
Was it? I'm pretty sure he did. Brandon Williams. Sorry, Brandon Williams.
Too long. That was way too long.
Brandon Williams.
Okay, we'll give Knuckle the points there because he got 3 defenders who scored. Brandon Williams against Sheffield, Maguire against Chelsea, and Tranmere, and then of course Lindelof. Was it against Villa? Villa on that 2-2.
Yeah.
So points to Knuckle. Quad, you're next. This is your name, any.
Why can't I go next? Dude?
Okay, sure. Aya, we'll go with Aya.
Yes, sir.
Name any 3 opponents that we faced in Europe this season. That's a straightforward one.
I have 0 clue because they're all shit.
That's what makes it more tricky.
Oh God, 3 opponents that we faced.
Now, put your phone down.
It's fine. It's my question. Who's the team you're facing now? Is it Lask or something? I don't know.
You got one. You got one.
Did we face young boys ever? I don't know.
That was actually in the Champions
last
League
season.
year.
Oh, last year.
I can give you a clue. One of them are from the Eredivisie, the Dutch league. Their club starts with A.
Huh?
Their club starts with
Vincent Kompany is the other clue.
I mean, okay, you said, is it Ajax? I don't know.
It's Alkmaar.
Yeah. Alkmaar, okay.
Club Brugge,
I mean,
even Astana or Pakistan does
And
it.
Astana.
So
I have no idea about who we faced in Europe because, like,
it's the Europa League, so I would not blame you on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Quaj, this is yours. Name any. Name any 3 clubs Sergio Romero has played for before donning the United shirt.
That's pretty tough, man.
No, for Quaj, come on.
No, I don't think I went.
That's a tough one.
Or do you want me to give you a slightly easier one?
I think I know one.
I was gonna say either Juventus or PSG. No, neither. I don't know where it came from, dude.
You want any clues? Because then, I mean, it's seemingly tough, so I can give you a couple of clues if you like.
If you can change the question.
Okay, fine. I can change the question then. Name me any Portuguese-speaking players in the current United squad.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Fred and who's up? Brazilian? I don't have any Brazilian.
Knuckle knows the answer.
Diego Dallo.
Yeah, spot on. So Quaj and Knuckle off the mark. I mean, we'd like to give him the points, but he's probably going to get the next round. So we'll start.
I don't deserve the point.
Okay, the next round is Who Am I? So I'm just going to be reading out a description of a player. You have to tell me which one it is. We'll start with Knuckle this time. Knuckle, I have played for United under Van Gaal, Mourinho and Ole. I'm 32 years of age. Currently,
Mata.
That's spot on. Sharp-minded knuckle over there.
Good.
And can I tell you Romero's clubs?
Yeah, Romero's clubs.
Monaco, Sampdoria, and Alkmaar.
Nice. So, and Alkmaar was actually another answer to the other question which we asked, which is the Ayer's question.
Yeah.
Puppet. So another point to you there. Quads, this is your who am I?
Yeah.
I played 54 times for United. I started my career at Espanyol. I have scored just 1 goal for United. And I now wear the number 3 kit for the Red Devils. I think the last clue is a slight giveaway. Yeah. Bhai is the right answer. Ayer was struggling there until the last clue, I'm guessing. But
Yeah, no, the last clue, I had no clue till you gave the number away.
Okay, so Ayer, here's your who am I. My date of birth is 5th of December 1995. I've scored just once for my country, but I've bagged a hat-trick this year for United. And my middle name is Jordan, and I've also played for Monaco.
Quaj knows this. He's smiling.
No, you know this as well. You'd be like, oh my god, yeah, how did I not get that?
Wait. Oh, Marshall, the only hat trick we had this.
Yeah, the hat-trick clue.
Van Persie did it last.
Yeah.
Okay, so considering you guys have all kind of aced this round, this is a bonus question of this round. So anyone who knows the answer can shout it out. I'm presuming it's Knuckle in this case. But I have made over 300 appearances for Man United. I've also competed in the 2012 Olympics.
Hands up!
Yeah.
Hands up! I put my hand up first.
Okay.
Oh, wait, there's the host. You have to change the thingy.
I think I know who it is. But
De
Ayer, you can go first.
Gea.
We'll give Ayer the points. I think Ayer was the most accurate with this.
Yeah.
No one else has played that much for us, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, last couple of rounds is a true or false, or what I like to call is true or flagged offside. I'm going to name a particular fact. If just tell me if it's true or flagged offside. Okay, so Quaj, we'll start with you. United finished the league this year with 66 points, and we also scored 66 goals. True or flagged offside?
Oh shit.
Flagged offside.
No, it's actually true. It's actually
We scored 66.
we got 66. We got 66 points.
Oh wow.
That's a good question.
Moving on. So United have lost the least games in the Premier League part of the season. True or flagged offside?
I want to say true because we've drawn so much. I just don't know City's numbers. But I'm just going to go with true. It's okay.
And he's got that right. Spot on from Ayer. He's motoring along in this quiz nicely. Quaj, Knuckle, this is your true and false. When football resumed post-lockdown, Man United was 6th on the table. True or flagged offside?
I think true.
No, it's actually 5th, Knuckle. That was a little cheeky one. That was a little cheeky one. That was fun. Indeed. So let's finish off the quiz with a little bit of audio, little gameplay. And this is going to be absolutely fun. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play either a game or recording of a United player. You have to just tell me who I'm talking about. All right?
Okay.
Knuckle, are you ready?
Yeah.
It's Bruno Fernandes then. Oh, it's a class act. He's off the mark in a red shirt. Bruno Fernandes won the penalty, took the penalty, and United lead.
Which game was this?
Oh man, I have no idea.
Come on, that gave you a lot in that commentary.
Either City or Chelsea, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Hello? You want to guess?
I was gonna say Chelsea.
No, it was actually, all of y'all are wrong. It was actually Watford in the Premier League. That was the first goal he got in a red shirt.
I don't know.
Okay, so moving on to Ayer's question.
Yeah, it's a big dream, and realizing the dream makes it even greater. So I thank God for this, and I'm very happy.
Teammates have talked about how yourself and Bruno Fernandes have settled into the side and the impact that you've made. Do you feel like you've settled pretty quickly?
Yeah, because I know some of the guys from before, and they are good lads.
Come on, Ayer. On fire. Can he get this? You've done so well in this quiz.
I know he knows this.
I know he knows this.
If the post in the Premier League is Is it Udayan? I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's spot on, Ayad. Okay, quickly, Quads, this is your round, and then we can wrap proceedings because we have just 2.5 minutes left. I want you to guess. Do you want to go for a game or a player? Which one do you want?
Player.
Okay, you want a player? Sure, this is it. Listen to your clip. This is your clip.
Can see the progression of the team, and just to come on and help the boys today was a pleasure. And obviously I'm fighting for my place. Everybody in the team is not guaranteed a starting spot, and everybody has to keep working every week. So for me, that's one of the most important things. Keep up with keep feet on the ground and keep pushing forwards. We've won a game today, fantastic. What's the next one?
What a day.
Can you play that again? I just like
God, shut up, man.
Rashford.
No, it isn't. It's actually Scott McTominay.
God!
It's Scott McTominay. So, but nevertheless, all you guys, kudos for participating in this quiz and had great fun talking about United. Hopefully next year is the year we move on and we're back where we belong, the Champions League, baby. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers, man.
Big shout out. Cheers, boys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Well, that was a lot of fun indeed. Big shout out to Nakul Rajaram, Prashant Iyer and Zarif Khwaja for making their presence felt. Now enough of the football, let's end the show with a bit of cricket because the ICC, of course, have introduced a new league in the ODIs, and let's tell you how it works more than just what it is. Yes, the ICC have introduced a brand new league to revitalise one-day international cricket. So why has it been introduced? Now the main reason why it has been introduced is to provide context to ODI cricket between two World Cups. So how many teams will be competing? The answer to that question is 13. 12 full members from the ICC, and that include, of course, India, England, Australia, New Zealand, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Ireland, Zimbabwe, South Africa and the West Indies. The 13th team, of course, is the Netherlands, who won the World Cricket League Championship featuring the associate members. So what is the tournament format, you may ask? Each team plays 4 home series and 4 away series. Now each series contains 3 one-day international games, which makes it a total of 12 plus 12, 24 into 13 teams, of course, which gives you a whopping number of 312 games in this particular league. Moving on then, who plays who, you might ask? Well, that's the most important question, because if you take a look at this, it will explain absolutely everything. Now for example, Mohammad Amir won't be bowling to Virat Kohli, or Jos Buttler won't be facing Nadal Rashid. But you take a look at India, for example. So we know for a fact that each team plays 8 teams, and that means India play 4 home series, 4 away series. Now that includes teams from, of course, anything but Bangladesh, Pakistan, Ireland and the Netherlands. Moving on to the next piece of information. The point system. And that is, of course, very crucial to learn. 10 points for a win, 5 points for a tie or no result or for an abandoned game, and you get nothing for a loss. But there's another important question. Are all ODIs part of the Super League? Well, let's illustrate. For example, Australia take on Sri Lanka in June 2022 according to the ICC FTP. 5 one-day internationals have been scheduled between the two sides, but only 3 out of them will be calculated for the league. Similarly, when we take a look at India, on the other hand, now they take on Australia and New Zealand twice during the league calendar, but only 1 of those series each will be counted in the league. Elsewhere, it's also interesting to understand Afghanistan's position, because they're scheduled to play 9 one-day international sides, but according to the league purview, we can play just 8. So how many teams qualify? Common knowledge tells us that India has an automatic qualification being the host for the 2023 event. So that leaves 7 highest placed teams, barring India, who will make the cut. Well, 5 teams will be left out though, and these teams along with the 5 associate sides will take part in the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup Qualifier 2023, and the 2 finalists will make the cut for the 10-team event. So the important question we want to ask you, are you ready? Because certainly I am. Watch the space for more. Well, that's all we have. Unfortunately, time's run out on Sporting League Social. I try to keep it as short and sweet, but it never happens with this particular plan of mine. But having said that, hope you've had fun watching this one, and lots more to come, remember, because slowly but surely sports trickling back into our calendars, and it's going to be a rollicking time for all our fans around the world. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see you.